What up guys, Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. Got a little intro before the intro here. I recorded this video to be ready on St. Patty's Day, but some things came up and got in the way, so I'm releasing it now. So here it is, and it'll be here for next year. Enjoy.
It's the Leprechaun! Catch me if you can!
Top of the morning to you. That's the best I could do. What up guys, Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers, and thanks for coming back with some more popcorn. Real quick guys, if you haven't done so already, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button. It's St. Patty's Day, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to review something that was ridiculous, just like St. Patty's Day is over here. Just another holiday for everybody to party and celebrate. Like most holidays, the reason we celebrate it has nothing to do with why it was created. And I've worked all kinds of St. Patty's Day events over the years, including like the downtown parade in Dallas. I was a manager for the Blue Goose for a while, so we did that a lot. I worked at McGurk's in St. Louis. But this year, instead of getting ridiculous myself, I decided to get ridiculous with the movie review, The Leprechaun from 1993. Starring Jennifer Aniston, one of her first roles right before Friends, Mark Holton, and the great Warwick Davis. Which is the only real thing that's fun about this movie. Look, there are some fun things I guess to be had about this movie, but overall it is just ridiculous, and I have a hard time understanding why it was made. It was directed by a guy named Mark Jones, and it had a budget of $1 million. And it made 8.6 at the box office, which is not bad for $1 million. That's a good profit. But the fact that there's like 6 or 7 of these now, it's just ridiculous to me because the first one was ridiculous. Most horror franchises get ridiculous as they keep going on. Like the first Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all those movies like that, the first ones are epic. And then they slowly degrade in quality as they move forward. But this one was just terrible from the get-go. And I get it, it wasn't meant to be taken seriously, but for me, horror comedies have to kind of work. They at least have to make you laugh, and this one barely does that. It's just bad, and I don't mean to be bashing on it at all. It's just, I think they knew and were very aware of what they were making at the time, but the fact that they just kept going with it, ooh. Upon rewatching this, man, it was rough. Like, a lot of times you rewatch these movies from the 90s and stuff like that, and you're kind of like, oh, this has some charm to it now. It holds up kind of cool. This one doesn't. Like I said, Warwick Davis is the only fun thing to watch as the Leprechaun in this movie, but other than that, all the acting, all the scenarios, everything's just ridiculous. You guys all remember Mark Holton from Teen Wolf and Pee-wee's Big Adventure? And the little kid played by Robert Hy Gorman, he's pretty funny in moments too. Some of his lines are great. You guys probably remember him from Sometimes They Come Back, Forever Young, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Famous kid actor from the 80s and 90s. Some comedy horror films from the 90s like Arachnophobia, awesome. Army of Darkness, awesome. Bordello of Blood, Demon Knight, Bride of Chucky, all those, I love them. But this one, man, it just doesn't hold up. It's so cheaply made. The score is just really, you can tell it was done with like a Casio keyboard. But right after you see this opening scene of this Irish guy that's like happy about all this gold he just stole from a leprechaun.
A wee person, a leprechaun. I caught him and made him show me where his gold is.
Leprechaun and him have this showdown, and he's able to keep the leprechaun in a crate with a 4-leaf clover on top. And of course, years down the road, a new family moves into the area, and they somehow or another knock the clover off. The leprechaun comes back.
I'm back.
And it's ridiculous, man. He has these weird powers where he can like throw his voice, he collects shoes, and he wants his gold. It's 100 pieces of gold, and all the plot is just so ridiculous, I'm not even gonna get into it.
A shoemaker by trade. Yours could use a shine. But first, have you seen a crock of gold lying around?
I love how the little kid is talking to him about the brain operation he can get to make him smarter.
We can get you an operation to make you smart and fix your brain.
Those exist? But not only this movie is so over the top and silly with jokes, they just don't work for me. It's just like, what are y'all doing? Is this a kid's movie that's trying to be a horror movie?
It smells like me gold.
Like the leprechaun driving around in his cars and stuff. He's got these leprechaun cars, and sometimes he welds them out of nothing in barns, and
A ring around a rosy, a bucket full of posy.
it's just so unexplained. Like, what's happening in this movie? What am I watching?
It's not nice to make fun of a leprechaun.
How did this movie get so much buzz and craze in the 90s and turn into this cult classic it is? Maybe because it is so bad. I mean, but the kills are ridiculous. Like, there's a pogo stick kill that's just like, okay, I guess.
This old lep, he played one. He played pogo on his lawn.
There's multiple front yard showdowns that keep on happening with the Leprechaun, and it honestly looks like something that like a youth group filmed on a Sunday night or something. It's just hilarious. That's actually the only funny part to me is how bad it is. And not to mention the other side actors like the cops, the guys that play these cops, especially the guy that plays the sheriff. Oh my God.
Well, you'll learn about Flossie. He's a good boy. A leprechaun. That's a good one.
Who hired that guy? Look, this movie is ridiculous. He drives around in all kinds of weird mini cars with cops pulling him over. He disappears and reappears for no reason at all without giving us any sort of logic behind it. He just comes out of fridges. He's on roller skates. He's in a wheelchair at one point, and then he just slams through this fence in the shape of the leprechaun. I mean, it's obviously not trying to be taken seriously, but you have to make it funny. Like Tucker and Dale, hilarious horror film. Prime example of how a comedy horror should be. The Scary Movie movies, those are the same thing. But this one, woo, I really don't understand what they were trying to go for. They achieved it, but I don't understand what they were trying to achieve. And then the best of all, you get this at the end from the little kid.
You Lucky Charms.
If anybody was ever wondering where that came from, this is it. Well, that'll do it for this review, guys. Just wanted to do a little quickie for St. Patty's Day. The Leprechaun, starring Jennifer Aniston and Warwick Davis. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, guys. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. And also remember to keep your eyes out for the short film that my partner and I, Andrew, are working on, Late Court. You can watch the trailer right here on the channel. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top of the morning. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, fresh popcorn.
Catch me if you can.